John Burroughs, he's the director of the Untitled Art Space in downtown Oklahoma City. We're 1
Northeast 3rd Street.
1 Northeast 3rd. And we're here to talk about the Biennale Creativity Exhibit.
Right.
And if you could explain to me what that is and how it wound up in Oklahoma City.
A little over a year ago, a group called Creative Oklahoma, which is the only designated creativity district in the United States that's a part of a worldwide creativity organization, came up with the idea that they would like to host the World Forum for Creativity, which happens yearly in one of the different 14 districts around the world, education. And so they came to us and asked if we would host some meetings on cultural happenings in Oklahoma City and how the cultural community might be involved in the World Forum. So we made a proposal at Untitled to organize an international biennial exhibition. And the concept came to me because I go every other year to the Venice Biennale, which is the oldest Biennale, and that means exhibition every 2 years.
Right,
it's an exhibition that happens every 2 years. And I've seen more of these happening around the world, Singapore, Shanghai, Sao Paulo, different areas. And a Biennale differs from an expo in that, one, of course, that it's every 2 years, so it's a little fresher in I think, with the art. But two, it's an honor to be invited. You represent your country if you go as an artist to this, and it's not for sale. The works are not for sale. It's not a commercial endeavor. It's an honor to be involved.
So in other words, at this point, Oklahoma City's on the level with Venice, Singapore.
Right, absolutely. So they said that's fine. If you can organize it, we will help you with budget. We'll work this out together to happen during the World Forum, which happened 3 days here in Oklahoma City about 2 weeks ago in November. And so we spent a year planning this. We got in touch with all of the districts, and we asked each of the creative districts worldwide to recommend 4 artists from their district, and then we would take 2 artists. We would have an internal committee that selected 2 artists from those 4 artists that we felt best fit our theme, which was new processes, new approaches, new art. And the concept of the theme was mine because, again, seeing different biennales around the world, I've begun to see artists using all kinds of new materials, not just new methods of creating art, but literally new materials, not just traditional paint and traditional sculptural pieces, a lot of installation art, a lot of video art, a lot of actually new media.
Installation artists like Tommy Purcell.
Right. And essentially, I think what we've come down to is a definition of for all of these exhibits is new media art. All of the artists sort of fit the idea that their installations used computer technology, interactive technology to bring an audience into participation. When you go into these exhibits, you see very different uses of materials and most of the presentation of art. And so
So how many artists are?
There are 17 artists representing 7 different countries from around the world, and actually there's a total of 14 different installations if you break down, because some of the areas like Flanders, for example, we ended up with 3 groups of artists from Flanders instead of just 2 because they had just such an impressive number of artists.
And this will be up now until the 8th of January.
8th of January. And because this exhibition is so large and the installations took so much space, at Untitled we couldn't house all of the work. So we went to the Automobile Alley Association, which is up Broadway in Oklahoma City here, and asked different property owners if they would let us use buildings there as venues. And so, just like in Venice, when you go to Venice, you go from one warehouse to another.
So you kind of got out of the warehouse and into the city. Right. And
so we'll go today. I'll show you. Besides Untitled, you'll go to 3 other venues, and you'll see art from around the world in different venues.
Okay. I got to know. How did Untitled get its name, and what exactly is Untitled?
Well, Untitled is an organization that was begun by, the founder's name was Laura Warner. Laura, 13 years ago, acquired the building that we're in at 1 Northeast 3rd, which at the time there wasn't anything in the neighborhood. We didn't have Bricktown, and there wasn't a lot of development around here. It was just a derelict warehouse built in 1925. She acquired it. She spent about 3 years renovating and putting it to get back in shape, literally putting the roof back on and the windows back in, and she turned it into a commercial gallery, which she ran for 3 years. And the way I got its name was she couldn't think of a name that pleased her, and people would say, well, what is the name? She said, well, it's Untitled at the moment, and it just began to stick. And then, of course, you've got that connotation with art. When artists can't name a piece,
Right.
it becomes Untitled. So then, because she didn't want it to be confused with not having that as the title, she called it Untitled Artspace. And we have recently reversed that name, in fact, to Artspace and Untitled, because we found that when you do internet searches or you get yourself on a calendar, you fall at the bottom if you start with a U.
Oh, I see.
So now we're Artspace and
Okay,
Untitled.
is this a nonprofit?
It's a nonprofit organization. It has been a nonprofit for the past 8 years. And I was one of the original board members to establish it as a nonprofit, and served as a board member for 2 different terms. And then 2 years ago, I took on the job as executive director for.
They give you a bottle of aspirin.
I need one about monthly. It's a great, wonderful opportunity in this community. We are really the premier contemporary art center in downtown Oklahoma City. Our programming, our mission is to bring attention to national and international art, contemporary art, to bring national and international artists in to exhibit in the community. We feel that we really fill a niche in the community. There are galleries, several great galleries that show local artists, regional artists, and from time to time we do the same, but it's our goal, and our full mission is to show national and international contemporary art, to do programming based around that, to do workshops, to bring artists in for lectures. We have a really healthy lecture program. We work, for example, with the University of Oklahoma, Bruce Goff School of Architecture, to bring architects in who visit the school and then come here and they give evening lectures after they've spoken at the school.
You have a website.
We have a website. It's www.artspaceatuntitled.org. Yes. And if you go to that site, you can see really all of the history of this space. You can see all of our past exhibitions, information, pictures, videos, podcasts, things like that. And then there's actually, for the Biennale project, there's a dedicated space within the space where you can see all of the installations. You will be able to see a 360-degree view of each installation. You can actually, like walking into the installation, and it's really quite interesting. We've tried to use new technologies to bring this experience to the public, and to get their attention to the website, and then hopefully get them in to see the space.
Great. Let's go look at something.
Okay, great.